Hey guys, and welcome back to the channel. In today's video I've got a little bit of a modification to do for the 330D, and it's actually in this package here. I don't know if you can see it, it's come from China. China. But yeah, anyway, so what I'm going to be doing is basically fitting this today, and then yeah, taking you along with me. So I've just quickly opened up the package, and this is the steering wheel cover that I've got. So it's an Alcantara or suede type material with a red centre line on the wheel, and then they did provide me with these instructions, but I'm just like, I don't have a bloody clue what's going on with all of this. So instead of reading those instructions, what I've done is started watching this bloody YouTube video, and this seems a lot more helpful. So I'm gonna head out to the car now and just give it a whirl and see how far I can get. So whilst I'm editing this video, I've just realised I haven't really explained what was going on. Essentially, I was putting the cover over the wheel to then feel how it would line up on the wheel, and then once I'd got it lined up correctly, it was then a case of obviously just sewing the cover onto the wheel. But when I started it, just nothing was lining up, and I couldn't get. First of all, I didn't even know which way around it went because there's a front and a back to it, and then I just could not get it to line up properly. So I just ended up giving up that day, and then coming back the next day, but instead of trying to do it whilst the steering wheel is obviously in the car, I went about removing the steering wheel, which was a whole faff in itself, and people make it look so easy, but essentially I took the wheel off and then tried retrimming it that way, and then yeah, that's where I've got to at this point in the video. So the first job was going into the boot and then removing a couple of trims to get access to the battery, just so I could disconnect it and make sure that obviously the airbag wouldn't explode in my face, because that's what I was absolutely shit scared of, obviously taking the wheel off. And there's just another angle of me trying to remove the bolts that you have to like remove these trays to get access to the battery. Very simple job, a couple of 10mm bolts and then a couple of like these plastic head bolt things that you can just pry open and pull out. Very simple job, to be fair, and then obviously just unscrewing the bolt on the battery and then putting a cloth underneath the battery connector so the wires don't touch whilst I'm working on the car. Right, so Jesus Christ, look at the state of me. I have finally got the wheel off now. Don't know how well you can see that, but that was an absolute joke to get off. That's literally taken me about an hour and a half just to get the wheel off. The airbag was probably one of the hardest things to take out, just because I was absolutely shitting myself of it exploding in my face. And then there's so many connectors that go into this steering wheel, because you've got like the heated steering wheel, you've got the radio, you've got your bloody cruise control, your speed limiter, you've got your entertainment system controls. Just so much is on this steering wheel that you just don't realise. But yeah, finally got it off, so we can begin trimming the wheel now. Flipping out, that's taken ages. That has taken so bloody long, and I don't even think it's that good, to be honest with you. Like, look at the state of this that I've made. Like, there's just an excess of materials basically. Don't know how well you can see it. So hopefully that's just going to tuck in. So when I put the faceplate on, that's just going to tuck in. I made a mess over here. It's like, it just looks shit, if I'm honest. But it's taken me like 4 hours to do that, so I'm not going to put it on. But yeah, hopefully it looks better when it's actually on, but to be fair, it just looks crap. Let's go see how it looks. So I've managed to get the wheel back on, so that's how it's looking. I mean, it looks good, but when you look closely at like the stitching, it is horrific. I don't know how well you can see that on camera. It's not going to really show very well, but like it just doesn't line up at all. That's not too bad, but it just, yeah, you got massive gaps here, you got a crease here. So it's a proper bodge job, this. But at the end of the day, it feels nice. At least the centre line's in the right place. But yeah, I'm gonna screw this on properly and then let you know how it feels and have a little drive in it as well. What I've got to do is connect the airbag from here to the steering wheel, which goes in to this little clip here, so the cable goes into there, and then it's just a case of forcing the airbag back in. Okay guys, so I've just managed to get it in, and to be fair, it doesn't look bad from afar. Like, that actually looks pretty neat, but it's when you get up close, mate, and you see the details, it's just so bad. But yeah, that's what it's looking like at the minute. There we have it guys, the finished product. Looks absolutely dreadful, but honestly it feels amazing. The actual material is so much better than my Golf's. It feels very nice, and to be fair, I've got a little bit more to like do on the tuck-in in here, and also on this side as well, because I'm getting like a crease here. So I think it all depends on how like you start off your fitment. So if you start it off well, then obviously the rest of it should be fine. But given that I didn't start it very well, it didn't end very well. Overall though, I'll probably give it a 6 out of 10, just because it feels really nice. The heated steering wheel still works behind it, so that's obviously a positive thing. And it looks great from the outside, but as soon as you get inside, you can see how much of a bodge job I've made of it. And also it's just not lining up properly. It just didn't really fit properly either. I don't know whether that's because the material that they cut is not the right size, or whether it's just my dodgy stitching, probably that. But overall I'd give it a 6 out of 10. It was only about 15 quid and it took about 10 days for delivery. So you can't really complain when you're spending like 10-15 quid on something. But yeah, overall not too bad. It could be better. Would I pay £300 for like a professional one? Probably. If I had the money to spend on it, I probably would. But I think this is a nice alternative, and I've put a little bit of effort into it, obviously doing the stitching and things. And it was an absolute bastard to get all of the electricals into the steering wheel again. God knows how many wires are actually in there, but it felt like there was loads, and they're like really fine and like difficult to get your fingers into. So yeah, that was a bit of a nightmare. But overall, I would recommend getting one of these steering wheel covers. Just obviously take your time with the stitching, because obviously that's where you get your bang for your buck. If you can get it really accurate, I can't see why this wouldn't be a £300 steering wheel. So guys, a couple of days have now passed and I've actually kept the steering wheel cover on my steering wheel. I do think I'm a little bit harsh on it. It does look a bit naff, but at the end of the day it feels nice, and from the outside it looks nice as well. So yeah, can't really complain too much. But that is going to wrap up today's video guys. If you did enjoy it, please smash the like button, subscribe to the channel if you want to see more content like this, and I'll catch you in the next one. Peace.